Do you know what a closing is? I'm sure you have some idea about what it is, or maybe you've even attended one yourself already. It's the culmination of your efforts as a licensee, commission time. But do you know when a closing is scheduled, or who attends, or how to prepare your clients? Let's start at the beginning of the closing process. There's a house for sale, and Vince Parker is in the market for a new home. Vince needs help and has hired a broker, Sarush Azizi, who helps him find the house he wants on the market, and Vince wants to make an offer. The seller, Karen Raymond, is the one granting the title to the property at closing. She has hired a broker, Corinne Sinclair, to help her sell her home. When Karen accepts Vince's offer, Vince gets a home inspection to check for any potential defects. He also calls his insurance agent at this time to obtain a homeowner's insurance binder. After any additional requests have been fulfilled, Vince makes a final walkthrough with his broker to ensure the terms in the sales agreement have been met. Finally, the closing takes place. Everyone involved gathers at a prearranged meeting spot to sign and pass documents at what is known as the closing table. Let's see who all is here at today's closing. The title insurance company often has one of their representatives at the closing, and Ginger Fleetwood is there to ensure the title is marketable and without defect at the time of closing. She does this by performing a title search and provides a title commitment or abstract of title at the closing. Another important figure at the closing table is the lender. If the buyer obtains a mortgage, like Vince has, then the lender's attorney, in this case Paula Rowe, will be there. She must disclose loan and closing cost information to Vince and is there to examine all the closing documents and that the property they are providing Vince's loan for has a clear title. All this so that the lender can get the mortgage funds to Vince before the final closing day can take place. There can also be attorneys present for the buyer and seller in some circumstances. As you can tell, there can be quite a crowd of characters here, and somebody has to take the reins to make sure everything is in order. This is the closing agent's job. The closing agent is usually one of the attorneys present, or the title insurance representative, but it could be one of the brokers, or even an escrow agent. Whoever takes on the role as the closing agent must submit the proper documents from the closing to the IRS when everything is finalized. Finally, we can close on the property. Once everything is in order, closing costs are calculated, adjustments and prorations are given, and the closing statement is reviewed. Once the buyer and the seller transfer the funds for the title and deed of the house, the transfer is then recorded on the public record, and the closing process is complete.